Built during the mid-15th century, this magnificent castle behind me was once the stronghold of the powerful Campbell clan. With its strategic position on Loch Orr, it was a symbol of the clan's growing supremacy and a base from which to wage a blood-soaked quest for more land. Where am I? Find out as we escape to the country. On today's show, I'll be helping a couple realise their grand vision of finding a Scottish retreat. They're quite daunted at first.
It's so massive! I don't know if I can take it in.
But living like Lord and Lady seems to grow on them. It's gone from an interesting to a... And then there's our mystery house, which will certainly require some blue sky thinking. I'm in Scotland, in the region of Argyll and Bute, and behind me the remains of Kilkerne Castle. Thirsty for power, the Campbells formed a strong allegiance with Scottish kings and began a 400-year-long feud with their neighbours, the MacDonald and the MacGregor clans. Well, with royalty on their side, they stripped away enemy land and through bloodshed expanded their own empire. So these ruins behind me not only act as a reminder of the area's rich history, they're also a perfect place from which to start our own house hunt with, hopefully, a little less bloodshed. Characterised by its sea lochs, mountains and scattering of islands, Argyll serves up a remote yet dramatic landscape on which centuries of civil unrest have been played out, including wars of independence in the 14th century. It was this victory that secured the fortunes of the Campbell family, who were ennobled as the Dukes of Argyll, and to this day are major landowners in the region. As the third least populated county in Scotland, well over 3/4 of its residents live within easy reach of its coastal villages and towns, such as the pretty Georgian town of Inveraray, on the shores of Loch Fyne. And as we'll see, these glorious lochside locations will be a recurring theme in today's house search. Anyone interested in becoming Lord of the Manor here in Scotland should be aware that there's a different buying procedure. For instance, all offers have to go through a solicitor, which moves the process along quicker. It also means that gazumping is virtually impossible, as contracts are binding. Another thing to remember is that properties are advertised at the minimum asking price, which means you've got to offer more than that if you're going to acquire your dream home here. Just look at that. It's worth it, isn't it? It's a big budget, but for £895,000, this 7-bedroom Edwardian country house near Benderloch does give you a lot for your money. Its 4 stylishly decorated reception rooms have coastal views over your very own private beach. Or there's this 1850s Victorian villa in Blairmore for £675,000, with impressive high ceilings and bay windows in its living areas, along with stunning views over the Clyde estuary. This charming 3-bedroom cottage in Rothesay on the Isle of Bute could be yours for £320,000. There's a cosy sitting room, and outside the patio overlooks open countryside. There are some stunning properties out here in Argyll, and if it's space you're after, you're in the right place. But will the peace and tranquility be enough to tempt this week's high-flying couple? Leah, a senior air stewardess, and Raymond, a former businessman, have lived in their 4-bedroom property on the outskirts of Glasgow with Leah's daughter Molly for 12 years. But Raymond's recent hobby has turned into an all-consuming obsession, which is a driving factor in their move to the country.
What triggered this was Leah buying me a set of oil paints back in 2002. That gave me the opportunity to pick up this hobby of painting, and I took it with a passion. I really want to try and push this dream of having an artist retreat.
You have the business expertise,
and you've got the
and I have the front of house.
Customer care.
So hopefully that'll work well together.
But the dream team seem to disagree on the perfect location.
I would like to be closer to a village because of Molly, 1, and 2, I'm a very sociable person and I don't want to be too isolated. Where Raymond, I think you'd rather be.
I've always dreamed
there.
of something far more remote than what Leah would settle for. Ideally, we would love somewhere with a mountain view, with maybe a loch or a glen.
But they hold the same vision for their perfect property.
We're very flexible because we know what we're looking for isn't out there as we envisage it. We need a starting block that we can then create the dream that we have. And we know we have to build that.
They're flexible about the business, which is good news. But what are they looking for in their dream home?
3-bedroom minimum, detached, a couple of acres, nice tranquil location.
Yeah.
Not too rural, studio space, and outbuildings with development potential.
And there are 2 rooms that will need special attention.
Here we are in my studio, but it's just not big enough. It's just not got the capacity that I need. The light's not very good. Hopefully we're going to find somewhere that's got a far bigger studio space that can accommodate maybe 12 artists.
So this is our kitchen. As you can see, it's not the biggest of kitchens. Myself and Raymond both love to cook, and we just end up getting in each other's way. Storage isn't great in this kitchen, so ideally a big dining kitchen that we can all sit around and socialise would be great.
With their current property valued at £370,000 and on the market, they're in a strong financial position. So what's the budget for their next move?
Our budget for this property is £500,000, with a further £150,000 towards developing the business.
Raymond and Leah have a huge wish list for their family and business needs. But house prices in Argyll do work in our favour, so they'll get more for their money here than in neighbouring counties. And they seem happy to cast their net wide, so we'll draw a fairly big circle around the town of Inverary, keeping lochside locations firmly in mind. I'll be showing them some prize properties in the area, but as ever, I won't be revealing the price until they've had a guess first. Last but not least, there's the ultimate challenge in the form of the Mystery House. Hey, Leah.
Hi.
Raymond, good to see you.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Good.
You've brought the fine weather with you.
Oh, we have. It's
indeed.
beautiful.
Long may it continue, that's what I say. Are you ready to make this gargantuan leap then from what, Glasgow to Argyll?
Yes.
Ready and willing.
I make a joke of it. It's only about, what, an hour and a half or something like that in the car, isn't
It's
it?
actually not too bad at all.
But it's a different way of life.
Completely.
You're going to give up the high life?
Maybe.
Maybe, okay.
It depends on what you find.
She's quite
us.
cagey, isn't she?
She is.
Keeps her cards close to her chest, this one. But it's a big ask for you, isn't it? You see the world in your job.
I know, but I think it's time for me to wind down a little bit. And what better place than Argyll?
Let's talk about the budget. Still 500 grand?
£500,000, and we've got about 150 thereabouts to develop the idea further if we don't find it within the 500,000 mark.
Okay.
So that's the kind of ballpark figure.
And any rush or anything like that?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, put it this way, we've been looking for 3 years, so...
Right, so you're picky.
No, but we know what we want.
Okay.
So, and we just haven't been able to find it, and that's why we need your help.
Well, should we get on with it then? Come on, let's go. For their £500,000 budget, Raymond and air stewardess Leah are looking for a period property with business potential that will give them a large family kitchen diner, an artist studio for Raymond, 3 bedrooms for the family and separate accommodation for up to 12 guests, along with a couple of acres all wrapped up in a stunning setting that will deliver their vision for the artist's retreat. We're kicking off our property search in the village of Argyll Head, which gained a reputation back in the 1820s as a summer holiday retreat with its beautiful setting looking out over the Argyll. And Leah should like the sense of community here too. Along with a few shops, there's a local primary school for Molly. Just on the edge of the village, our first property was in fact a wealthy tea merchant's holiday home built back in 1865. And over the past 7 years, it's been restored to its former glory.
Stone's lovely, isn't it?
That's fantastic.
Not a bad view either, eh?
It's very unique, this position. No, this is very interesting indeed.
And I've grown up by the sea, and it's always something I've wanted to move back to.
Do you know what I love about you? You're saying all the right things already.
I know.
Big enough for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? Let's
You can't wait to get in there.
Taking me in.
Come on then, I can do that. Follow me. From the outside, this property certainly has loads of historic appeal. And the inside, well, it's just as impressive. Come on in, don't be shy. It is what you call a very big hallway.
Yes. The wood is really nice.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very
And
deceptive.
look at the
I have
staircase.
What do you make of it?
This is fantastic so far.
Great first impressions.
It's
walking in.
positive, positive, positive.
But what I love about both of you, you're both backing off. It's so massive. I don't know if I can take it in. You know, it'll be fine. It could be yours, you know.
Could be.
Well, if they're overwhelmed by the hallway, the other living spaces will definitely knock their socks off.
It's fantastic. Look at the view.
Brilliant light, fantastic light in here with all the windows.
There speaks an artist.
Yeah.
Well, at the moment it's a living room, but it could be a studio.
Look at the fireplace. There's so much to take in.
Just off the living room is a lovely conservatory with terrific views of the loch. But there's much more in store.
No, there's a shock.
Yeah, welcome to your very own consecrated Masonic lodge, believe it or not.
I'm speechless.
This is very William Wallace, 20th century.
Yes. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You've got the original Victorian windows in the top there, letting in so much light.
Yeah.
This is actually perfect conditions to use as a studio.
Really?
Yeah.
With the light.
This is better.
You have literally become speechless.
No, I have become speechless.
Do you not like it?
No, I do like it. It's just...
It's just so out there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
You don't expect
It's
it when you
not-
open those
it's
doors.
not what I
This is-
expected at all.
It's honestly, this is amazing.
They're completely blown away by this room as a possible studio. And yet more surprises. There's a bar next door where their guests could enjoy a wee dram after a hard day's painting. Back through the conservatory is a cosy, inviting living room, which could be a great family hangout for them and Molly. However, for such a large proportioned house, the kitchen may come as a bit of a shock. Uh-oh, check out that face. Come on, spill the beans.
Just for me personally, too small as a kitchen.
I would agree.
I wanted family.
I mean, it's okay.
Size
It's a nice kitchen, size kitchen,
it's
but
fine. But just for what I had in mind, I was thinking family-size kitchen, all sit round.
Behind the kitchen is a huge downstairs annex with spacious kitchen diner and a utility room. There's also a comfortable lounge and a decent-sized bathroom. So there's lots of space for Leah to extend to create her vision for their family kitchen. So with the downstairs rooms covered, we'll head up the impressive staircase. Honestly, I don't think I'd ever get tired of walking up and down these stairs.
No, you wouldn't, would you?
So majestic. Again, everywhere you go, there's that light pouring in.
Yeah.
You could even do some painting here.
hell.
Or am I pushing it then?
Yeah, I think you're pushing it.
Okay. With 7 bedrooms altogether, they can take their 3 for the family and put the rest aside for the business. The 5 in the main house include a spacious double with a bright spruce bathroom next door. Also leading off the landing is a small double room with its own roll-top ensuite bathroom and a large double with an impressive bay window. The 4th room is currently set up as a twin. Let's turn our attention to where they would sleep. So currently this is the master bedroom.
Okay.
I don't know if you'd keep this as a master or, you know, use one of the others.
Yeah, it depends. But it's a good size.
Dual aspect as well,
Yeah.
so plenty of light coming in.
Yeah.
And next door, the family bathroom certainly measures up. This is rather impressive.
Oh yeah.
This
That's a surprise.
This is big. This is really big. I love that old wood effect, the old style wood panelling. Lovely.
Yeah.
It's
Really
good
nice.
enough for artists, isn't it? God, what are they used to, these artists? You know, they're used to living in squalor for their art. You know, this is practically, perfect for them.
Brilliant.
The other 2 bedrooms are tucked away in the annex part, so there are lots of options where they could put their paying guests. This enormous property certainly offers Leah and Raymond a fine family home, and huge scope to develop their business. Let's go down by the water's edge and survey the 1 acre grounds and scenery that could be theirs. Oh, I'm getting so bored of that view, I really am. But imagine waking up in the morning having to look at that.
I know, you couldn't get bored of it, could you?
It's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. All this could be yours. I think on the whole, you have been impressed with it, haven't you?
Yeah, very.
And what about the outside space in itself?
Well, I think when you have the ocean as your garden, an extended garden, that the actual ground itself, it doesn't bother me anyway, does it? Does it
I mean,
bother
you're
you?
right on a sea loch here. You're right. You've got the ocean right on your doorstep. And it's a lovely view. You've got a fantastic view. You can imagine the way the clouds, the weather, the way the light changes there throughout the day.
All right then, come on.
Okay.
Let's talk money.
Who's going first?
It's up to you.
You go
Do
first.
you want me to give the bad news? I think you're well over budget. Excess of 550.
A lot of money, innit?
It is. It is.
Offers in the region of 525.
£525,000, okay. Oh, you want to know, do you?
Yes,
oh,
please.
sorry, I was just taking in the surroundings. That's lovely here, isn't it? All I can tell you is that it could most definitely be yours. Offers over £460,000.
460.
Yeah.
460.
No way. That's a lot for 460.
It is a lot for 460, but there's a lot to be done.
But you've got the money to do it.
But we would potentially have the money to do it.
Don't make your mind up now. Go and have a look around and I'll come and catch you. £40,000 under budget. This listed Victorian house is on the market at £460,000, leaving them a substantial pot of funds to develop the business. It gives them a whole host of reception areas for family living and for guests to relax in. Its own Masonic hall, which could be transformed into a great artist's studio. 7 bedrooms, including 2 in the self-contained annex, and an acre of garden leading down to the shores of the Glare Loch. So has the property and its fantastic location inspired their vision?
This is the biggest of the bedrooms, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the view.
It's
I
perfect,
mean, that's
isn't it?
fantastic. I think it's been a surprise. I think as we've come in and we've explored, it's opened up a different way of thinking for me. This, without doubt, this is the place where you would use as a studio. That's great. That's a bigger size room, but look at the light in there compared to there.
Yeah, perfect. I think the house is fantastic. There's a lot to be done, but it has the aspect that we've been looking for.
Hey, you whipped round there pretty quickly. And you're still smiling. What a bonus.
Yes.
Come on, plenty more to see. Follow me. Argyll's vast landscape may dwarf the towns and villages, but their heritage is deeply rooted in this area's fascinating history. Perched on the edge of Loch Fyne, Inverary is renowned as the ancestral home of the Duke of Argyll. The old town was originally where the castle stands, but in the 18th century, the Duke had radical plans for the town's redevelopment. Earlier in the week, Leah and Raymond met local resident Colin Stevenson to find out more.
The man who started rebuilding the town and moving it over here, the second Duke of Argyll, was the member of the Campbell family who have lived in this area for not only centuries but a couple of thousand years basically, going right back into their Celtic background. They were the guardians of the western approaches at the bottom of Loch Awe against Viking pirates and other people, and for their services to the crown they were promoted to being Earls of Argyll in the early 1400s. The old town was moved because the Dukes wanted a bit more space. They wanted to build policies, gardens round their castle, and the old town was in the way. It wasn't exactly falling apart, but it was very cramped for accommodation. The circuit judges came here and there was virtually no room for them. So all in all, it was one of these periods in history where things were due for a change and a tidy up, and that's what was done.
Repositioning the town meant the second Duke could set about rebuilding his castle, which incorporates a range of styles, from its French-inspired turrets to its Gothic windows. First sketched by Vanbrugh in 1720, it was finally completed in 1789 by Robert Adam, 3 generations later, ready for the 5th Duke to move into. It remains the family home today and, unsurprisingly, has seen some illustrious figures cross its threshold.
Going back to the early days, you had Benjamin Franklin, the famous American politician. He and his son stayed here before American independence. And Queen Victoria was probably one of the more famous for two reasons. She was here as a visitor, first of all, but she latterly became not only the monarch, she became the mother-in-law, as her daughter Louise married the 9th Duke of Argyll.
When the Campbells moved the family seat to Inverary in the mid-1400s, they clearly had their sights set on the perfect location.
It's a fairly important part to play in the development of the town. First of all, the original reason for the Campbells moving from Loch Awe to Inverary was strategy in the old days. I mean, there was virtually no road transport, and the loch there was your road to the outside world, to Europe, to Middle Scotland, to England and across to Ireland. It directly positioned for that. And over the years, it also became important for trade. The prevailing winds brought boats from France in a direct line, bringing liquid refreshment and other things from France, seriously, all the way up here. We then had the growth of the herring industry, which lasted up until about the First World War.
I can see why the Campbells moved to enjoy the spoils of this remarkable setting. And our second property has a strong historical link to the family. Located 3 miles outside the coastal village of Ardrishig, with a convenient primary school for Molly, its location on the edge of Loch Fyne would provide Raymond and his guests with more artistic inspiration than they could shake a brush at. As would this Victorian country residence, built by the Campbells. Will this do you? If you hold on here a second, take it all in. This
Got a little mini castle.
It is a mini castle, exactly that. What do you think?
It's
Interesting.
pretty unique.
It is unique,
I
isn't
have to
it?
say, I've never seen anything quite like it.
But what did you expect when you were, driving up the drive? It's quite a long way, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's quite a long way, and it's also the wall. There's a big kind of turreted wall at the entranceway there,
Wall
which
there,
is
yeah.
really quite intriguing. So,
You fancy having your own walled garden, do you?
yeah. Oh no.
No,
2-acre walled garden.
no way.
Used to be the finest fruit-growing garden in the whole of Scotland. That's why, did you also notice a little ice house?
Yes, I was just asking.
Well, that's where they
Raymond.
preserved the fruit, so it would last longer. This is a house with masses of history, okay? If you can block out the 50s bit, which isn't too
Yeah.
bad, maybe you can do something with that. We'll talk about that
Okay.
later. What you've got here is just a massive slice of Scottish history. You really do have. And the turrets, basically the farmers
Yeah.
used to live in the turrets. So
Okay.
you've got 3 rooms in one turret, which you'd have to, redo, and 2 rooms in the other. So imagine your guests living in those turrets, looking out over a walled garden.
That would be ours.
Well, it could be. Don't jump the gun. You're smiling now.
I know.
It's
Can we
gone
get
from
in
an
there,
interesting
please?
to a woohoo, big little jig. But yeah, let's get in. Sounds like a good idea. Best
Okay.
one you've come up with all day. Come on. Despite much of the original house being demolished in the 1950s, with modern living in mind apparently, this property thankfully retains much of its original character, as we'll see inside. Come on in. Very impressive, isn't it?
Hello.
Well, he's our friend. He's the guardian of the house, and if you don't like it, he sorts you out. And as you can tell, he's at the moment not a moose. Come on through.
Oh yeah.
First impressions, guys.
This is fantastic. It's a really traditional feel about it. Yeah, it's got that kind of castle feel.
It's not a
Mini.
huge entrance, but it's impressive.
I think this has definitely got the flavour of Scotland all over it.
It sure has, Raymond. And I'm sure that the living room will measure up. Good size,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
dual aspect, but a great window there.
Brilliant
Fantastic
bay
window.
Again, having the 2 windows in either wall brings in a lot of light.
Yeah.
Would you use this as a studio?
Yeah, you could do it. I mean, it's big enough.
You're quite liking it as a living room.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think we could find your studio somewhere else.
Uh-oh! This will be interesting. Who wins this battle?
I know.
Well, Raymond's thrown down the gauntlet early on, but if he holds out till the end, I might just have the answer. The dining room also has those dual aspect windows. Next door, the kitchen may be smaller than Leah would like, but there is scope to extend. And it leads through into a conservatory, which gives them extra space to play with. Well, now downstairs is covered, we'll explore the first floor, where there's a lovely family bathroom with great views. and 2 of the 5 bedrooms, both potentially good-sized doubles. Here's one of the bedrooms, anyway.
Okay, that's a nice size.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. And there again, you have the view.
It is a lovely view. Well, it's the same view as the bathroom.
Yeah.
And again, you've got the high ceilings, though.
Yeah.
It gives that fantastic element of space, doesn't it?
Yeah.
These are big rooms.
Yeah.
Oh, they
These are big rooms.
Yeah.
Let me take you up now. How are you with
Again.
heights?
Good.
Oh, excellent. Upstairs again, on the 2nd floor, are 3 other bedrooms. Another very bright room. Good size?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Very pleasant, isn't it?
It is. It's fine.
If I was an artist, I really would enjoy waking up in the morning and seeing the view of the loch.
It is just spectacular.
It is,
It really is.
stunning.
Along with converting those turrets for their guests, the remaining 2 bedrooms are spacious and could both serve as great doubles. So let's go downstairs again and head outside, where there's a stone stable block, which would be a fantastic conversion project, as it's got planning permission to be developed sympathetically into a dwelling. Or Raymond could look at converting it into an enormous studio space. The grounds certainly leave room for them to spread out. The 2-acre walled garden is just part of the staggering 7 acres that comes with this property.
You could just let the guests loose into the grounds and
Yeah, you could.
That's fantastic. It really is amazing.
you wouldn't have to take them out in
look at all
location.
these- look at all
It
the
is
colours.
on location.
And I think the way we're seeing the garden now is sort of as natural as it gets, really. You know,
Yeah.
it's up to you how much work you want to put in. How much do you think this property is on the market for?
I think we're talking near £600,000.
Okay.
I would say we're up sort of high 500,000 up end of that for all this.
Okay, £600,000. Okay. How about you?
595.
Okay, 595. Offers above £475,000.
See you.
Bye. Yeah.
Moving
Yeah.
in. Oh, you've given us a lot to think about.
Good. I won't be in the garden because you'll never find me. I'll be by the front door, okay? Is that all right?
That's fine.
Go on, off you go.
We're off.
Well, how exciting was that? You should see them. They're dancing for joy. They really are. There's a big difference between 600,000 and 475,000. I can really imagine them both here. I think that they would have the time of their lives. I really would. I'm not going to say any more because really I am being bitten to shreds. Under budget at £475,000, Leah and Raymond would be buying a historic landmark which has scope to be developed into their perfect property. It offers them 2 large reception areas with period features, 5 bedrooms, a barn which has potential to be Raymond's studio, and turrets to renovate for their holiday guests. All set in 7 acres of grounds looking out over Loch Fyne. Sounds like a dream come true, doesn't it? Question is, do they think so?
This house is just jaw-dropping. It is everything I ever dreamt about when we have been talking about our venture and what we were looking for and what we wanted from a property.
I think this house is very characterful. It has so many aspects to it that I'm really interested in, but it does need a little bit of work.
Can you tell? I'm half the man I was. I've been eaten alive, I really have. You like?
I love it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's got a real good feel about it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want you to go and have some you time.
Okay.
Have a chat about it all, because you've seen 2 very different properties.
We have.
And I'll catch up with you later.
All right.
Come on, let's go. As the day draws to a close over the Scottish Highlands, it marks the end of the first day of our property search. Armed with a £500,000 budget, Leah and Raymond want to quit the Glasgow suburbs and get creative by setting up an artist's retreat in Argyll. They've been stunned by the 2 properties I've shown them so far.
Honestly, this is amazing.
But could the mystery property be their field of dreams or a project too far? It's a new day and our search continues to find artist Raymond and his lovely wife Leah a dream property here in Argyll. Yesterday, it's fair to say that we opened their eyes to the potential of what's available here for their budget. Yet my legs are killing me walking around those massive properties. And it was good to see that they are willing to compromise. Their ideal wish list isn't set in stone. It's a great house hunting word, that, isn't it? Compromise. But can they be pushed too far? Let the mystery property be the judge of that. Our mystery property is in the small West Highland village of Kilcrennan, with a primary school for Molly and a pub within walking distance from where we're heading. With spectacular panoramic views over Loch Orr, this tiny village is in a stunning but very remote location, which I hope will inspire them. What I love about you two is neither of you have really asked me why I've brought you to a field.
Yeah, well, actually, we were just about to.
Yeah.
We wondered.
May not have asked you, but I'm thinking it.
Okay. Well, this is a 2-acre plot of land.
Okay.
In front of me, you can see 2 cottages.
Yeah.
Currently 2 3-bedroomed cottages with living room, kitchen, bathroom. And you've got a little forest area there.
Okay.
So the potential here is massive. You can knock that property down if you wanted a bigger one, and you can actually build double the size.
Yeah.
Okay. And where would we live?
We'd live there as well.
Oh, okay.
And then you'd develop that into your artist retreat.
That sounds good.
Is it too much to take on?
I think we're a bit far out here to develop what we would want here. To demolish that, to rebuild it. I don't know if it's too big a project. I love this. I love the area.
The area
I'm just thinking
looks
about the
beautiful.
size of a project.
It is a massive project to take on.
Yeah.
It is, but could we do it?
I'm not sure because it's not something that I've thought about before. So you have me thinking now.
So you are willing to do a little bit of work then?
No, I'm willing to do a lot of work.
Okay.
But this is from the ground up.
Right, yeah.
So to speak.
I reckon if you took on this project, she'd go from being standby to being full-time again.
I know. I think I'd be doing this.
How are you getting on, darling? Is the first floor finished? Right, oh yeah, I'm just by the pool in Miami. No, weather's terrible. Anyway, you carry on. Lovely.
It's turned into a 10-day trip.
10-day trip. I tell you what, I think you should go and have a look around.
Okay.
And I'll come and find you.
Okay. Great.
Keep smiling.
I am.
This should be interesting.
As they stand, the 2 cottages are perfectly serviceable, offering up very similar living spaces and can be run as a holiday-let business, with sitting rooms that look out over the surrounding mountains. There's also a kitchen in each, a bathroom, and 3 bedrooms, 2 large enough to be double rooms, and a single room.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look at the views. I'm just looking out the windows, really.
Oh, it's a great spot. It's a fantastic spot. Absolutely idyllic. It's a blank canvas, you know. I mean, you've got to think if you just completely stripped this and just went up the way.
Yeah.
I think developing out there may be a huge task.
Yeah.
Well, now they've had a chance to consider their options, let's rendezvous with the chickens in the woods and see if it's a development opportunity too far.
This is fantastic. Look at this.
Because you wanted to look after chickens, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You wanted to look after
Myself
chickens.
and Molly want to look after chickens. This is great. Look at them.
Something you've got to do in the country, really, isn't it?
They're fantastic.
It's fabulous. Look at
And
it.
I think this little forest area is lovely as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's nice shading.
Isn't it?
Is it too big a project for you, do you think?
No.
I think it may well be for you. I don't see you
I just
wanting
said
a
no. Did I?
development.
Did you
I
see
think
my
you just
lips
said,
say no?
yeah.
I wouldn't write it off.
Okay.
I think it's something that we haven't thought about, so it's we'd need to really. It would all hinge on whether you could get planning permission and where we could go from there.
And also, you know, you've got the design element to take in as well. That's exciting.
A lot of homework.
You could create whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't talked money, of course.
No. And you know, we've been so bad at this.
You have been pretty bad, I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, be good now.
I'm going to say offers in the region of 160.
I think it's more. I think it's about 350 for the whole thing.
Okay.
You're closest to the mark. It's 340.
There you go.
Okay.
You seem really surprised.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to really think about this one. This is
Yeah.
this. I mean, at that kind of money, this location and the potential.
Yeah.
I mean, as it stands, we would need to do an awful lot here.
Yeah,
So-
don't say no straight away. Don't chicken out of the project. I'm here all day. What I think you should do is go away, have a long conversation, not just about this property, but, you know, how do the others compare now as well? You know, you've got 3 very, very different properties to think about. And I think we should sit down over a drink later on, somewhere nice with a view.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I can promise you
Sounds
that.
good.
Okay, come on,
Great.
let's go. Priced at £340,000, that's a whopping £160,000 under budget. Our mystery proposition gives them the chance to be real free thinkers with their business venture, offering them 2 existing 3-bedroom cottages, which they could rebuild, and in doing so, double the footprint. All in all, an outstandingly beautiful location by the shores of Loch Orr, so an idyllic holiday bolt hole for their potential guests. Well, now our house tours are over, there's a lot for Raymond and Leah to think about. I'm in Knapdale Forest, and back in the 16th century, this was home to the European beaver. Well, it's been extinct around here for over 400 years, but I'm on my way to meet a man, Simon Milne, whose mission it is to bring the beaver back to Argyll. Really hope I get to see one. 27 other countries have reintroduced beavers, and although it's sparked some controversy here, the government has granted a licence for the Scottish Wildlife Trust to carry out a 5-year trial introduction of the beaver.
Ecologically, we need to restore processes back into the environment. Nature can't work in a box. We're missing various key species, and the beaver's one of those key species. Because although there's a sort of perhaps a moral obligation to bring back species that are being wiped out, there's also need to look at those animals which have a profound impact on maintaining wildlife and the habitats as we would like them. And the beavers are essentially natural habitat creators and maintainers. They create wetlands, they create coppiced woods, and make sure that variety of the countryside is so important for different animals and different species. It's there for them to live and to thrive. So it's the benefit of a lot of other wildlife, not just the beavers.
In medieval times, beavers were hunted for their fur, meat, and for medicinal purposes, producing a secretion rich in salicylic acid from their diet of willow, which is now known as a forerunner of aspirin. Simon is taking me to a site in the forest where these industrious creatures have clearly been at work.
And this is the dam.
What this
Probably
we're standing on now is a dam that they've created.
And probably the first beaver dam to be created in the wild in United Kingdom for 400 years.
How long would it have taken a family of beavers to create that?
They've been working on that for a best part of 9 months, I suppose, but the bulk of that work has been done in the space of 3 or 4 months. Beavers build dams primarily for security, because the entrances to the lodges are underwater, and they like to maintain a steady depth of water.
Right.
And they don't like water which goes up and down in depths because it exposes them, or indeed could flood their lodges. So what we believe triggers dam building is the sound of running water. Beavers don't like running water. Because it's moist and relatively warm here, the regeneration happens very quickly. So we're seeing where they have cut the trees, the growth is coming back up again. And that's exactly what we want. We want trees at different stages of maturity.
Could we go to an area where, you think that they're living?
Well, we can certainly go and have a look. I wouldn't put any money on seeing one, who knows,
Okay.
but we'll certainly have a go.
Since releasing 3 beaver families a year ago, Simon and his team are successfully monitoring the activity of 2 of them, although they tend to be rather elusive.
What's the longest time you've ever waited to see one? Oh, 3 or 4 hours and then still not see one. Really? So it's not definite that we'll see one? It's not. You can be lucky.
Well, all that waiting was not in vain, as eventually we struck gold and got a brief sighting. If all goes to plan and the beavers here successfully breed, the hope is that colonies can be reintroduced elsewhere in Scotland. Leah and Raymond are positive people, which always makes it an easier house hunt. They've seen the potential in 3 very different properties. We now need to find out how much effort they're willing to put in. Do they really want a blank canvas to work with? Let's find out.
Well, I have to say, it doesn't get much more idyllic than this, does it?
No,
This
it
is
doesn't.
perfect.
I can see why you want to live here.
Yeah.
Let's start with the property down by the loch.
Out of all the properties we've seen, I think that had the most potential in terms of the layout.
It was almost ready-made,
Yeah.
wasn't it, for our requirements? So
I like the internal, I like the view down the loch. I think for the venture...
It needs something.
Yeah, I think for the business plan, I think we might have struggled to attract people to come to there. Although it was stunning and it was a lovely house, I don't think it had that kind of rural appeal.
OK. Well, let's move on then.
okay.
How do you fancy owning a castle?
That was stunning. That really was.
That was a wow.
Yeah, that was a real surprise. The walled gardens, just the whole setup there was just totally unexpected on the
It's
approach.
what you would dream of owning, but you thinking that you would never be able to afford something
Well,
like
that's what you were like, both of you, when you were walking
Yes.
around.
But again, what that place had, that needed a bit more work to it. But you could see it. You could see
a
something.
lot more
happening
work
there.
to be done. But your imagination could really run wild. I think that property there's something very special about it.
You're talking as if you want to own it.
Yeah, well, I do. It's convincing, Raymond.
What's panicking you? The work that needs to be done?
I think the kitchen area and the living area for us as a family to work in that was a bit small, so we would really need to look at building out from the side and maybe the barn, converting that into a studio space. I think that was really what we were talking about.
Dare I ask then, if that's too much work for you, then obviously the mystery property is going to be a no-no.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think there's a lot of homework to be done on the mystery property. It was completely thrown at us. I don't think we were prepared for that.
No. But, I mean, as I said before, what it did do was really open up our minds to the fact that maybe we should consider looking at plots and building
Location-wise, I thought
a
it was
property
perfect.
that
Oh,
would
yeah,
suit
beautiful
all our
location.
needs. Yeah.
Is there one property that you think you'd be willing to put an offer in on, or...?
I think the castle, we would definitely like to go back and have another look.
Yeah.
The third mystery house, I would like to look into further. I think we
Okay.
need to check out the planning, purely because of the location.
Yeah, but the castle definitely. And do you know what you have done for us? We've discovered a part of Argyll that we didn't know before.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Incredible.
Well, good luck being shown around the castle. It'll be like this, a little bit.
I think so.
But I really hope that you do find what you're looking for here, because if any couple deserved it, you do. And it's been really good fun as well.
Well,
you.
we've
So-
loved every minute of it.
Good.
Thank you.
Leah and Raymond's sunny outlook on life will, I'm sure, stand them in good stead when they're looking for their ideal home. And they really have chosen the right area. Argyll is a beautiful region. It has everything you could want from country living. It has the great mountain ranges, the stunning loch views and spectacular houses. Tell you what, if I was an artist, I'd like to retreat here. Till next time, goodbye.
Well, if you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.